Bill Gelman, site runner for Play NJ, here on the 6th floor of BALLY'S Atlantic City for Atlantic City Boardwalk Talk.
And I'm David Danzis, lead writer of PlayNJ.com. We've got some great interviews lined up for you this week. We've got Thomas Bird, Sportsbook manager down at FanDuel Sportsbook. We also have John Connor, he's the general manager of Water Dog, great new restaurant here at BALLY'S Atlantic City. And we'll get to all of that in just a moment. Before we do, Bill, a couple of things that we're going to lead off with, and I think the first thing we'll start with is actually football, right? We have some new sports books that just launched here in New Jersey, just in time for the NFL and college football season. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what's new here in New Jersey?
Well, we have, just in time for football season, like you said, Barstool Sportsbook, which has been rumored for months. It was actually supposed to launch back in April. It just went live. It's partnered with Freehold Raceway up in central New Jersey, and it has a big following, with the cast of characters that are associated with it. And then the other one is Betway, which is based out of Europe. Not as well known to the United States customer base, but it has a big following overseas. They actually put up odds for our presidential election last year. But obviously you couldn't bet on it because it's illegal, but it's
something that's not going to fly here in New Jersey.
Right. But you have 20 sports books now. What the right number is.
And that begs the question, it's almost the same question that we have here in Atlantic City when we're talking about casino operators. How much is too much? How much can the market handle? Right now here in New Jersey, we know who the big players are, right? We know the FanDuels, the DraftKings, the BetMGMs. It's too early to say whether more operators are going to have success in this market, but at some point, just the natural way these things work, there's going to be a balancing out. And some of these newer operators, there's not going to be a large enough piece of the pie for all of them coming in. I don't know if Barstool is going to have that problem. I think they're a pretty well-established brand. Betway might have a little bit more of a difficult road there. We also just saw pretty recently, that 7 of the really big-name sports books were approved as official sportsbook operators with the NFL.
Right.
And that's going to have a big difference or a big leg up, especially going into this football season. So again, that's DraftKings, FanDuel, PointsBet, FoxBet, BetMGM, and then most recently Wynn. And who am I missing? I'm missing one.
I'm drawing a blank.
We're all drawing a blank here. But
you can see it on PlayNJ.
Yeah, the story's up on PlayNJ. There's 7 operators that are approved, and really the benefit that gives them is the opportunity to advertise during live NFL games, but also this little bit of nugget information that kind of gets lost. These sportsbook operators are approved to advertise in the last 10 minutes of pregame coverage. And really that's so critical, right? Because that really is kind of that pressure window when a lot of sports bettors like to rush and get those last minute bets because they know who's playing and who's not and how things change.
Right.
That's really critical.
Right, especially when they make the picks at the end of the pregame.
Exactly.
So it's like perfect timing. And I saw a couple of the advertisements that the sportsbook are coming out. I mean, Wingman went with Shaq, Ben Affleck, and a couple other characters. It's a great, very entertaining segment. So it's interesting to see. It's not like the Super Bowl commercials, but some of these sports books are really getting creative for it.
Yeah, and they're spending a lot of money on that advertising. Speaking of spending a lot of money, we are at a property right now that is spending a whole lot of money.
Right.
And you and I just did, we had an exclusive interview with Phil Giuliano, who's the Chief Marketing Officer and Executive Vice President for BALLY'S Corporation. And he really broke down how they're going to spend almost $100 million at this property over the next 5 years. Phil talked about a lot of this, and I'm going to let you touch on it a little bit, about how important it was for the hotel rooms and just the overall aesthetics of this property and really redoing that and turning this into a world-class resort all over again.
I mean, it's just Bally's. The property has pretty much been ignored. I know there's another way to put it, but over the last few years, it's been ignored. And there's a lot of TLC that was in. I mean, we're on the 6th floor right there, where Jerry Longo's is. That restaurant space has been closed for I don't know how long. There was another restaurant where Water Dog is, and there was no live entertainment. Mm-hmm. So then that's all come back. I mean, those are just stuff that brings people to the property, but you need hotel rooms.
Yep.
Like if you don't have a desirable hotel product in the market, and you have this beautiful tower of Bally's, which Phil talked about, and you have to upgrade. If you don't invest and reinvest, like Hard Rock and Ocean, they're brand new properties. They're still investing in the properties. These properties have been around for 40 years. Eventually, like a house, you got to take care of the house. You need to make improvements.
And we saw recently in the quarterly financial reports for the Atlantic City casinos just what that capital reinvestment is doing here at Bally's. Bally's was the only one of the 9 casinos in Atlantic City to not have to not report a profit in the second quarter of 2021. But again, they're spending 4 times what they paid to buy this property in terms of capital reinvestment. Right? They bought this place for $25 million. They're going to put $100 million into it.
Right.
So not turning a profit in your first quarter, your second quarter of reinventing a property, not unexpected, and certainly no cause for alarm. The other 8 casinos all reported a profit, which is really good news.
Right.
7 of those 8 actually reported a higher profit in the second quarter of 2021 than they did compared to 2019. Again, really encouraging sign there. The one property that didn't was Borgata, who's the market leader. Still reported over $40 million in profit for the quarter, and the next closest competitor was 25% short of that. So Borgata's not sweating anything right now. They did just fine. Again, these are encouraging results. I want to caution people that they don't. These are snapshots in time, right? They don't tell you a definitive anything about the health of Atlantic City casinos or how well this market is rebounding. We know it's still very early in the recovery stages from what happened in 2020. But all signs are pointing to a positive recovery and a really good summer that they had here in Atlantic City. So, a lot of good things to talk about. But we're done yammering up here. We're going to let you guys watch our great interviews. Like I said, we have Thomas Bird, the general manager of the FanDuel Sportsbook here at Bally's Atlantic City, and John Connor, general manager of Waterdog. Hope you guys enjoy those interviews. If you like what we're doing here with Atlantic City Boardwalk Talk, don't forget to hit like at the bottom of the video. And if you really want to keep up to date with what's going on in the New Jersey online gambling and gambling scene, make sure you subscribe to our videos. Thanks so much for joining us. We hope to see you next time.
We're anticipating that week in a big way. We've had a little bit of action, for the preseason, which has been pretty good. But we think that the NFL, once it kicks off, it's going to be gangbusters in here. We're going to have a full crowd, seats we get at capacity. I think it'll be really lively in here. Can't wait for that. Everyone should call ahead and try and get a reservation for seating if they want to sit. And I believe there's a food and beverage charge, which is minimal. They may divide the day into half, like on a football Sunday, for the first game, and then later for the second game, or you can sit here for the whole day. Obviously, college football the day before is going to be big, but people should call in advance if they want to seat, or they can take their chance. Any fan that comes here, it's going to have fun. It's a great room. It's a great place to watch the game. If the seats are all taken, people can certainly stand and watch the game, move around. We're going to add a few more tables and chairs, so the seating occupancy will be upped a little bit. But there's certainly plenty of room to stand in this room, and you can see every set from anywhere you are. So when it comes to future betting, we've had a lot of action in the preseason period. I think people have been waiting to see how the preseason ended up, who was tossed out. We got those decisions yesterday about the rosters. So I think we're going to see a little bit more action on futures picking up this weekend, leading into the first week of NFL. But being at Bally's, a resort here, it attracts people from all over. So we have a real eclectic mix of bets and their favorites. So a lot of Philly, a lot of Eagles action, a lot of Giants and Jets action. But once again, people have come from all over, and they're picking teams for all over. When the Phillies are on the screen, we attract a good crowd in here. I think as we near the tail end of the season, the regular season, and get into some playoffs, I think we're going to see a lot more action, especially if the Phillies stay in. I think as the season goes on, the football season goes on, towards the tail end of the season, as we get near the championship games, you're going to see some sort of promotion, some sort of event that takes place in here. Obviously, just the games themselves on the weekend is going to be a huge attraction. We're going to be offering a free bet offer on the kiosks. If you make a parlay that's plus 400 or more, you'll get a free bet voucher for up to $50 for the following week. So you can make money and make money again. And if that original bet doesn't win, you still have an opportunity to do that second bet. We really haven't had a chance to see any college football action yet. We've had a little glimpse of it this past weekend. Coming up this weekend, I think we'll see a little bit more. We haven't experienced that at this FanDuel here at Bally's because we weren't open last year. However, at the Meadowlands, that place gets packed with college football bettors. So we anticipate the same thing here. It's going to attract a lot of college football fans, and that sometimes is a busier day than the NFL days. So with the increased attendance here at Sportsbook, we have lots of opportunity for people to make their bets and how they can make their bets. We have 20 self-service kiosks here, which have all the markets available to them, all the sub-markets within those markets. So lots of opportunity to make bets. No standing in line. You just go up to the kiosk. We have 20 of them, like I said, and they're all easy to operate. And we have the best kiosk in town. Additionally to this room, it's a sportsbook with great food and beverage. So we have food and beverage service throughout the days. We got the self-service beer wall over there, which will be operational. And the menu is incredible. So it's a great sportsbook menu, great food, good service, and good drinks, and great games.
We're a casual dining restaurant with high energy, great food, incredible service. We provide ourselves with having excellent cocktails, delicious food, and impeccable service that we carried over from our Ventnor location, where we've always provided great service. Now we have a bar included, a sit-down restaurant, and some of the best service in Atlantic City. Oh, it's been exciting being a part of Bally's renovation and remodel. Being up on the 6th floor with places like Jerry Longo's, Guy Fieri's Chop House, understanding that they're doing an entire renovation of the Bally's property has been excited to be a part of, and it's really returning Bally's to glory, and we're happy that Waterdog's part of that. Every day of the week, 7 days a week, happy hour from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., 50% off on all appetizers, $4 draft beers, $5 select wines, $10 specialty cocktails, really the best happy hour around. We look forward to having everybody come to Waterdog, try us out from our Down Beach location in Ventnor all the way from across the country. It's exciting to be a part of Bally's team. And we know here at Waterdog you're going to get some of the best service that you've ever had. You're going to have the tastiest food you've ever had and just leave with an overall great experience. You'll talk about Waterdog so much that you'll come back time and time again.